Hi, let's take a look at Uncanny X-Men issue 8, written by Gail Simone, drawn by Javier Garrón, and colored by Matthew Wilson. Full spoilers ahead, so you're forewarned. Like all read on Graymalkin issues, this one has a special thanks to the other writing partner, Jet McKay. This issue is really not good. I mean, the entire crossover is not good, and I kind of do not know where to begin. Hi, Future Tyler here. Let's start at the beginning with Phillips, aka Scurvy. So I assume sexy time with Corina is so good that he continued to use his powers despite it eating away at him, and that he needed her approval somehow. I mean, he's an Omega class psychic, right? Like Xavier. So he must have known that Corina is thinking about, and she's not real and that she's using him. Well, I mean, apparently he doesn't care. This is the thing though. I have no idea why he's so loyal to Corina apart from what we were told. She flirted with him, they had sex, and told him a sacrifice has to be made. For what? For whom? There had to be more to this story, right? But more annoyingly, what we saw at the end of X-Men 9 does not gel exactly with what we see here. Like, are they all floating in midair? I mean, Juggernaut tried to free Inmate X in part 3, so this cannot be the case, right? And what mutant blood did Scurvy shed in part 3? I mean, I don't know. Okay, the avian thing is mildly interesting. There had always been groups of mutants that are slightly different or of some significance, like the 12 or the externals, so this is kind of similar in that sense. This group seems unified by a tumor for some strange reason, and even after Xavier was resurrected multiple times during Krakoa, no one seems to know about it. I mean, I don't know why. Okay, that point, since we are only now introduced to this, there might be an explanation to it, so I can, give it a pass. What really could not be explained away though is Rogue. Like, she's acting all out of character. Well, first, she had to snap Cyclops out of his trial and slap him so hard that he spits blood. And then later on, when Cyclops rightfully confronted her about bringing those baby mutants into this conflict, she shot back with that Magneto line. Like, what? Did she not know what Magneto did on Krakoa? And before that, on Utopia? Like, what is this nonsense, about? And where did it come from? And why is Xavier so right in her mind? I mean, she was there when Xavier confessed that he had no idea where he sent all Krakoans when he forced them through the gates during the third Hellfire Gala, and she was the one who left him on Krakoa by himself. And after they passed through the portal, like, Xavier was the only one she is concerned with leaving behind in Graymalkin prison. Like, seriously? I mean, look, this is the era where everything that came before is forgotten. Right? Part of it could be explained away with Scurvy's influence, but a large chunk of it could not. Like, while Cyclops rightfully chastised Rogue regarding involving the baby mutants, they were in the midst of a battle where there's a clear and present danger. Why would he choose that moment to do that? And why would they be having a petty argument in the middle of that fight? I mean, besides that, Cyclops and all the X-Men are just like, okay, we'll leave because you're going to destroy, Louisiana and Alaska. Like, really? They're going to leave all the wrongfully incarcerated mutants in the prisons because Corina threatened them? I mean, they could have taken out every single one of them easily. We have Psylocke there, we have Xavier, and the other side have no psychic defenses. So what's the problem? Why do that? Why just like, oh, okay, sure, right? I mean, there's so many options. If Xavier wants to atone for his crimes and remain in prison, fine. but I find it really difficult to believe that Cyclops would let all the other kidnapped mutants incarcerated and, let Blob, Wildchild, and Siren be forced to work for Corina. Like, everything does not make sense. Like, at the very least, I think Cyclops promised to free the others later on. So, what is this crossover about? And Corina is like vengeful because her brother died due to action of a mutant. Boo-hoo. Like, okay. And then, in the midst of the whole thing, she wanted a gun for what? To pose for a clip in Click Clock. And then she tortured Blob, in Sentinels 1 just to make him recite a pledge. And I don't know. I mean, and I know Cyclops was drawn to be young looking, but why is Rogue and Gambit calling him a boy? Like, seriously. And for some strange reason, Beast is KO'd by scurvy, while no other mutants are similarly affected. And given that this is Simone's and McKay's name on the book, right, the blame naturally falls on them when it comes to the story and the dialogue. But judging from the past 3 issues and the whole mess that this crossover is, I would not be surprised that they both have little to no control as to how this turns out. I mean, I do not want to go all conspiracy theory on this, so, I will stop here. The art is at least good, and all the characters are in the right attire the entire time. I mean, as mentioned in our review of issue 6, Garrón's art skewed towards more cartoony, and it is even more so in this issue, especially when he adhered to Stegman's design for the X-Men team, with Cyclops looking really young and Juggernaut looking really bulky. Yeah, I mean, I think he did a lot of things really well. I like his sense of design on pages and the expressions he gives to characters, such as Corina's like snarl, Rogue's pout. I mean, not that I agree with her sentiment, but the art sells what was intended, and her pain with like scurvy's attacked. Speaking of, there are some really nice panels, such as the double page, half splash page of the group pose, and that really nice panel design, with the double page spread of the X-Men and the opening titles with Xavier, Nightcrawler, and Psylocke in the corner, as well as the page with that circular Inmate X cell and Psychic Better. The entire crossover is a mess, and this issue is no exception. It is a 2 out of 5 for me. The characters are all acting off, the story does not quite make sense. If the art was bad, this would have rated way worse. I unfortunately agree. So skip this issue, skip the crossover. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, share this with your friends, and leave us a comment. Thanks, and Tyler out.